Oh my god, where did time go? The Bloodline series is already over. Hi everyone, Miranda here. So today I have my thoughts on video for the Ruby Circle, last book in the Bloodlines series, the spin-off to the Vampire Academy series. If you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest that you don't watch this video. However, if you're a person that has not read Bloodlines or any of the books in the Bloodlines series, I'll leave the link down below to the Bloodlines review that I did, so you can hop on that and check it out. So if you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest that you click out. Let's talk the Ruby Circle.
It's over, like, for real this time.
Because when VA was over, I was just like, now at least we get the Bloodlines. Now Bloodlines is over and I'm like, we get nothing. I don't think Richelle Mead is ever gonna revisit this world, which is so sad. But, you know, you never know. To Kill a Mockingbird has got a sequel now after 55 years. Richelle Mead could come back after 55 years. Maybe I was thinking, you know, like Cassandra Clare just keeps writing about generation after generation. He might do something on Declan. I am waiting for anything. I really want this world to continue. Great conclusion, and I was expecting everything that happened in this book. I got this book a day before that it got released, thanks to Team Australia, as they did the Ruby Circle launch in the Dimmicks in Melbourne. And I got the book in my hands. I'm just like, oh my god, I finally have this book. I've been waiting for it for a year. And it was also awesome because I got it signed by Nick, who plays Adrian in the Bloodline Australian trailers. And he wrote, Miranda, life is about small victories. Embrace yours. Good luck with the book reviews. Hopefully this makes the cut.
And it did make the cut.
So basically, from what I can remember from Silver Shadows, Adrian popped the question to Sydney. They ended up getting married. Now they're in the court. First chapter, we are straight into it. You know, the first line, it was really quite funny.
Married life wasn't what I'd expected.
And, you know, it wouldn't be for Adrian and Sydney because they're always on the run or have to hide. And I kind of feel sorry for them, you know. You just want them to settle down and have a normal life, but no, you know, in this world, that cannot happen. They're all about trying to find Jill. And I had the big suspicion that at the conclusion of this book that they would find Jill. I mean, if Jill died or they wouldn't find her, I would be really shocked because Richelle Mead always has a happy ending to her book series. I wasn't expecting Richelle Mead to pull out of Veronica Ross. A lot happens in the first chapter. Sydney and Adrian have another fight yet again about spirit, which gets really annoying because they're always fighting about spirit and they say the same things over and over again. And also, in this chapter, Adrian ends up getting bashed, and it ends that, you know, Jackie's back with some master plan to get Sydney out of there. Everything just goes on in the first chapter, which wraps the book up and gets you more excited. So when Jackie turns up, she comes with this box. The whole Jill thing turns into this big scavenger hunt, which, oh, it just kept me guessing. Like, I wanted to know who has kidnapped her, because the person that's kidnapping her is like leaving all these clues. Sydney just has to go and solve this, and I love how Jackie turns her into a cat to smuggle her out of court. That is just the best idea. And I actually thought, oh my gosh, is Sydney gonna be able to talk like a talking cat? You know, like a witch has a talking cat. The cat ended up just being able to meow. I thought she was gonna turn into like a Salem from like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and it was kind of annoying because Adrian's like, oh,
I don't want to let you go, Sydney, you know, let me come with you.
like, Adrian, I know that, like, finally you and Sydney get to be together, and I know it's sad that, you know, you have to be separated, but this is gonna happen eventually. Just let her go and do her own thing. You know, she's independent enough. She's like 19/20.
Adrian, you know, she can look after herself.
Even though you end up saving her from those like bullet metallic things. Adrian is just so bad at covering up. He's always just like,
Oh, Sydney's asleep.
if I was like one of them, if I was like Rose or Dimitri or Sonia, I just burst into the room and go, yeah.
No, Sydney! Oh shit, she's not here.
That was me though. I would let in, except maybe Sonia, I'd tell Rose and Dimitri most definitely about the plan, like what was happening. Sydney is, you know, out at the moment, because as if he can get away with not telling. Another big thing that happened in this book was Nina trying to find Olive. I was really upset how Nina ended up using all that spirit trying to find her sister in the dream. That wasn't necessary. I think maybe Olive would have come back in her own time. I think Nina should have just let that go a bit. She didn't have to overexhaust herself like that. At the end, what good did that do? Deep down, I really think that Olive should be straight up to Nina, tell Nina what was going on, so Nina didn't have to worry, so then Nina wouldn't have to, you know, endanger herself by using all this spirit, because if Olive really cared about her sister, she wouldn't be doing that. Ugh. But I know, what can you do? This scavenger hunt ends up leading Sydney, Eddie and Jackie to this robot museum, and they end up getting this like brick as a clue. I'd be so frustrated. So Sydney and all them, after that, they end up going to Haha Tonka. I had to see if this Haha Tonka place existed.
Because like, what a name to name something. Anyway.
And they go there, Sydney ends up seeing her sister and her dad. I really thought that Zoe was gonna like rat her sister in. The fact that Zoe didn't, I was actually really surprised. I was like, oh my god, because Zoe wasn't really nice the last couple of times, and I'm like, oh, something must have changed in Zoe. You then find out the next big bombshell in this book. This was just like when the bombshell started coming, because it was just bombshell after bombshell after bombshell. Alicia is alive. Oh my god, I knew, like, always in the last book, every single character returns in some way. And when I found out that she was still alive, I'm like, yeah, she's behind this. You know, she's the one who ended up kidnapping Jill. Next bombshell, which happens straight after, is we find out that Olive is pregnant. They end up going to find Olive at this, you know, wild pine place. So Adrian stumbles upon his uncle, Uncle Rat. The drunk uncle, the weird uncle. Ah, yes, and then another bombshell gets dropped when Dimitri punches him. That, you know, Dimitri and Adrian are cousins. Are first cousins. Why does every single book character in some way have to be related to one another? Like now I can successfully draw up a family tree and everyone is related to one another in some ways. You know, we've got the spirit bond which relates them together, they've got this, you've got...
Every single character in this book is related somehow.
And the Strigoi attack, Olive runs off into the bush and no one knows where she is. Before Olive dies, he tells Adrian that Neil is the father. A Danfer and a Danfer make a baby. It's impossible. So then we find out that through Strigoi, and then you come back and conceive again. What the hell? So then it started to make me think, and even Adrian said it, how come Rose and Dimitri haven't created a baby yet? Because, like, you know. I love how Adrian takes affection to Declan. I thought that we really saw another softer side of him, kind of his dad side started popping out. And I really also loved how Adrian's mum took affection to the baby as well, because I didn't really like Adrian's mum, but we saw another side of her in the book. So then all the clues end up going back to Woofy's place. He fights, you know, Alicia, and, you know, turns her into, like, stone. And that was a wicked fight. But then I kind of started thinking, where was, you know, Woofy in all of this? Wouldn't have Alicia turned Woofy into stone? Because then Woofy ended up, like, coming out of the rope once his dogs had bitten through all of them, saving the day. So I was like, So then we find out that the Warriors of Light have got Jill. Bloody Warriors of Light. Penny and Eddie end up going undercover to the Warriors of Light. The Warriors of Light are just kind of a bunch of brainless people, I reckon, because the fact that they had no security cameras, like no doors, it was like bonus for Sydney because, you know, she got to turn invisible and sneak around, but like they're so brainless. And also when Sydney's able to get the laptop, how, you know, the guy's just standing there and then she just like punches him or whatever and runs off. I didn't even put up a fight and they call themselves the Warriors of Light. Like, Sydney then does this whole deal with the alchemists, and I really love how it ends, that everything is just peaceful and they let her off and she gets to do her own thing, and I'm like, that's how it's supposed to be. And her dad ended up being involved in all that business, and I love how she ends up getting back to her dad a bit, which was really good. I love how the final battle wasn't necessarily fought 100% by the main characters. She had to battle that dragon, the demon head thing. The whole raid wasn't necessarily them. I really found it emotional when Adrian used so much spirit that he lit up and became like a god. Oh, that was just like so emotional, but he ended up saving Sydney. The epilogue is always the most emotional part in every book. It always gets me crying. I didn't cry for the conclusion of this book. I was just very, very happy. The fact that they all became happy family, you know, Rose and Dimitri are now engaged, Lynn, he's growing up, Olive's secret got to be safe. In terms of Neil, I found that had to be done, otherwise too many questions would have been raised. I want to know more now with Declan. I hope that Richelle Mead writes something in the future based off Declan's point of view. That would be really awesome. They got what they wanted, they got their escape plan, they got forever. And I'm so glad they finally now get to be together and just be happy. You know what I mean? And hopefully they make heaps of babies as well. That'd be cute. And I really thought they did. I thought, oh, you know, since it was like based 1 year later, you know, they'd have kids, but they didn't. I'm Miranda. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Ruby Circle thoughts on video. I like this book. Did you like it? Tell me your thoughts down below. I'd really like to know. See ya!